What's up, everybody? This is Barn on 11970. I'm going to try and make this video again because for some reason I could be in the middle of a video and just stops for no reason. Gotta love that. Alright, guys, I want to do a little bit of a response to a comment that was left earlier today, and I really think we all need to talk about this because this is important. Not the actual person, but obviously by the title of this video, we really all need to start talking about this. Now, this comment was left by Funked Gibberish, and he writes, or she writes, I don't know who they are. Do you people have nothing better to do? I am trying to find real information. You're all fucking retarded. At some point, aren't all you tards supposed to off yourself in a panic? I saw a movie, blah. You are trying to spread your psychosis. Okay. Now, obviously, in the past couple of weeks, we have all been discussing about gun control, gun rights, in other words, the Second Amendment. What people have to start understanding is, without what's called the First Amendment, which is our freedom of speech, we would have never had a Second Amendment, a Third Amendment, etc. Now, the First Amendment of freedom of speech is not selective. In other words, it doesn't say, well, you have the freedom of speech as long as it's something that people agree with. People need to understand something. The idea of the Bill of Rights is to protect the freedoms of the individual and the people as long as they don't infringe on somebody else's rights. So you may not like what somebody says. You may not agree with what somebody says. You may not even believe in what somebody says. But they have the right to do it as long as they're not infringing on your rights. In other words, as long as somebody isn't threatening physical harm on you, they have the right to say what they want. This is not meant for interpretation. And that's why you see the problems with what's going on in our government about the Second Amendment, how they're trying to rewrite the definition of an assault rifle, and they're trying to redefine what the Second Amendment really means based on their interpretations of it. And that's very dangerous. And we cannot nitpick. So here's my advice to this person, because I don't have a problem with them. I know what it's like to go down that angry road, and it's just not worth it, and it's not healthy. So I hope you find a better way to express yourself. But here's the thing. There's a reason why televisions now come with remote controls. Because when you turn on a TV and all of a sudden a program comes on that you don't like, you're not forced to watch it. You have the capability to change the channel. So if you're looking for your good information, and I love the retard and retard, I wonder what videos you watch. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion. But the point of the matter is, if you don't like the information on that particular video, nobody forces you to have to watch it. You just find something that's more beneficial to you. But see, this is the problem that we all have to start realizing if we ever want to be a true civilized society. Everybody has the right to express their opinion, to express their beliefs, to have their own version of something. You may not like it, you may not agree with it, but you should respect it. And unfortunately, that person, and I've seen several other people on videos, they don't have the respect of understanding that everybody has the right to their opinion or their version of their belief. We don't fix that. We're just going to continue down the same road that we all have been for centuries. Because what it boils down to is it says that if freedom of speech is only allowed if you appreciate and believe in it, then it is then subject to interpretation. So who would be in charge of saying, you can't say that, you shouldn't say that, that's not the correct way? That can really infringe on a lot of people's rights. And if you look at most wars throughout history, they're all involved in the fact that somebody didn't like what somebody else was doing. Look at all the religious wars in our history. It's based on the fact, you worship somebody I don't worship. So instead of respecting that and leaving them alone to be able to do that, they decide, well, you're wrong, I'm right, you have to die. This is why we have the problems that we have. So until we all decide that we all have the right to say something, whatever it is, however crazy it is, however different it is, unless I'm infringing on your rights, I have the right to say, and you have the right to say, whatever you want, including the person that left that comment. Now, do I agree with his comment? I sure don't. But am I bashing him down? Absolutely not, because he has the right to say it. But this has been the biggest problem throughout our history. And if we get to the point where we nitpick everything people do and say, then eventually that's what our leaders, our people that are in control of our governments, are going to do. They are going to start breaking down the freedoms that we have in their own interpretations. And what do you do when you get somebody in power, in control, that doesn't agree with what you do and takes away that right from you? So we all need to keep that in mind. I make videos that some people may not like. I talk about things some may be afraid to talk about. But that doesn't mean I don't have the right to do it. And to say things like I should, people like me should off ourselves, that's an irresponsible thing to say. So until we get to the point where we can understand what our Bill of Rights are and what we fought for to get them, is it any wonder why we're in the situations that we're in? So I'm going to keep this video short, but I want people to know everybody has the right to say what they want. And it's time to not be afraid of it. So many people, I mean, I get emails all the time saying how, they appreciate what I do, and they say things like they never could have the courage to say the things that I say because they're afraid to be made fun of. You know what? I'm not afraid anymore. If people want to make fun of it, that's absolutely fine. If people want to think that making fun of people instead of helping them is a way to make our country more united, then I question their integrity. But you know what? They have the right to do it. As long as they don't infringe on somebody's rights. Most people don't seem to understand that. So we'll talk about gun control until we're blue in the face. We'll talk about the Second Amendment every day. But until we get the First Amendment right, we're not really getting anywhere. So hopefully some of you will understand that. I know my subscribers will. A couple people out there, they just don't really get it. Because I'll give you one prime example. Somebody like the KKK. I don't believe in them. I don't agree with them. I don't like them. But you know what? They have the right to say and have their opinion. There's a lot of people in the world will say things you don't like and don't agree with. But in this country, as long as we still have that right, let's not get rid of it. Let's not abuse it. Too much anger in this world, believe me. I've gone down that route. Not worth it. Peace.